Welcome to the Riot Act Spring Special. I'm Rishi Rajagopalan. On March 15th, the U.S. Senate passed legislation that would make daylight saving time permanent in 2023. That's weird. I thought groundhogs were the Time Lords of our universe, not Chuck Schumer.
Nancy Pelosi, baba.
I thought that all Chuck Schumer did was use government dollars to subsidize Amy's comedy. I had a joke here, but she stole it. On another note, check out Life and Beth, now streaming on Hulu. Thanks, Chuck. Back to daylight savings. You may be wondering, where did it even come from? See, a lot of people think it had to do with agriculture. But much like Monsanto, this has nothing to do with helping farmers.
No, the whole story about the farmers, it's the biggest PR con job ever. The farmers have always been against changing the clocks for daylight saving time. And they've been like, hey, stop blaming us. We don't have anything to do with this.
You can blame two men. George Hudson, a New Zealand entomologist who first proposed the idea because he, no joke, wanted more time to look for insects. And the great-great-grandfather of Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, William Willett, who pitched the idea to British Parliament because he wanted, again, no joke, more time to golf.
The real overlord of time is Coldplay? How could I not see this coming? The lights go out and I can't be saved have brought me down upon my knees. Confusion never stops, closing walls and ticking clocks. Coldplay's first hit was trying to warn us about daylight savings. The practice is not even that old. Daylight saving time didn't even become a standard in the States until 1966. That may sound like a long time ago, but Nancy Pelosi was already a mother to her first of 5 children, Nancy Pelosi Jr. And that's not a joke. Her oldest daughter's name is actually Nancy. Can you tell which one she is? So besides some old British dude wanting to golf, is there any legitimate reason for daylight savings?
What we don't tend to know as Americans is that the biggest lobby on behalf of daylight saving since 1915 in this country, and to this very day, is the Chamber of Commerce. They understood something very early on. If you give workers daylight when they leave their jobs, they are much more apt to stop and shop on their way homes. Daylight saving is a loser as an energy plan, but it's a fantastic retail spending plan.
What better than a little retail therapy to combat that seasonal depression? Looks like time is in the pocket of big business. Even Dr. Strange answers to Disney. In 1986, the golfing industry lobbied Congress to save the daylight so they could, you know what? Let's not talk about what they're up to back then. That same year, Big Candy lobbied the government to keep daylight savings time by putting, I shit you not, candy pumpkins on every single senator's seat. As a candy corn defender, I see the vision. But who knew that was all you needed to push through policy? I've been trying to get February changed to Italian History Month for years.
Whoa, you talking Italians? Jimmy's gonna take it from here.
Refresh Italiano. Damn right, Jimmy. We're eating fresh over here. And we will not rest until the league stops blackballing Colin Capicola. As recently as 2005, business executives have attested to Congress that daylight savings generated upwards of $300 million in additional revenue. So for decades now, we've been changing our clocks like Khloe Kardashian changes her face. And like Khloe, we are finally free from our shifty partner. For now. The bill states that after we fall back this November and spring forward next March, we would no longer have to adjust our clocks. Ever. The rest of America has finally joined Arizona in agreeing that nobody can hold off the sun. Daylight saving time is more popular than standard. So is ending this constant switching of the clocks each spring and fall. But we all know Congress doesn't do something just because it's popular. After all, 162,000 people signed a petition to change the name of fire ants to spicy boys. Yet my girl still cheated on me with a fire ant.
Keep my wife's name
Uh-oh.
out your fucking
Did
mouth!
he help? Oh, wow. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a Bug's Life joke. Popularity is only part of the story here. The sun is ultimately controlled by corporate interests. Daylight savings keeps big corporations profitable and makes us think our deeply divided Congress is working for the people, while they do their real business right under our noses. The week before Congress passed the Daylight Savings Time bill, they passed a $1.5 trillion bipartisan spending bill. And guess what they're buying? The bill's kicking $602 million to the Capitol Police, who couldn't keep a bunch of Twitch streamers and Facebook moms out of the one place they have to protect. It includes $1 billion in funding for an Israeli missile defense system, so Gal Gadot can make sure her coworkers are extra well protected while they genocide, allegedly. And it includes $13.6 billion in aid for Ukraine, which must be the cost of an Amy Schumer endorsement these days.
We thank you for your contributions to cinema. Yes. And there's a genocide going on in the Ukraine and women are losing all of their rights. And now, please welcome last year's winner and trans people for actor in a leading role, Anthony Hopkins.
Damn you, Chuck! Congress unfortunately just couldn't swing any additional COVID relief funding, but as a reward for all their hard work, they included a 21% increase for their own congressional office budgets. I'm guessing you heard more about the daylight savings bill than most of these budgetary changes. So maybe think twice before sending your senator a thank you note. Consider sending them a candy pumpkin instead. My name is Rishi Rajagopalan, and you've been read the Riot Act.